morning. So, yesterday I had trouble with the internet at my house and I didn't have all the stuff I needed to do the lesson for you guys. So, I'm recording it this morning so that you can watch it um, as soon as I get it uploaded. So, we are going to start with our book, Miss Nelson is Missing today. We're on Module 0, Lesson 1, and I'm going to turn the lights out so you can see the board better. Hopefully there won't be a glare, and I hope that it's not backwards. So I'm going to watch this after I finish it to make sure. So we are starting the book, Miss Nelson is Missing, today. Some of these slides I'm going to skip through because we don't need to really talk about them. Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to understand that over the school year, we are going to explore a lot of different texts, and some are going to be long and some are going to be short, and some are going to tell a story, and some will tell us information about a topic. And then some are going to be works of art, like paintings and sculptures and things like that. So, the first book that we're going to read over for the next few days is going to teach us the questions to ask and the routines that we're going to use for every new text that we read. Okay, so like I said, we're going to start with Miss Nelson is Missing. Okay. When we read a text, it's helpful to have something to look for or a question to answer to guide our learning. So, in our Wit and Wisdom lessons, we have different types of questions for different purposes. Those of you that were in Anderson County last year and did Wit and Wisdom, you remember that we have the big question is our essential question, and that covers the whole module. So this is going to be the same big essential question for Module 0. How does reading help us learn? So the biggest question, it takes the longest time for us to answer that one. As we work through all 5 modules this year, we're going to answer big questions called the essential questions. Essential questions require a lot of thinking and learning in order to answer them. So we will read a lot of texts and look at art and music. We're going to listen to music to find some answers. It's like the big oak tree, okay? The essential question is like a big oak tree. The focusing question is the medium-sized question, okay? It is, how do Miss Nelson's students learn to appreciate what they have? So the focusing question is the medium-sized question, and it takes several days to answer. It usually covers a text. Like in Module 1, we'll have 4 or 5 different texts or books, and each book will have its own focusing question. So it will take several days to answer the focusing question. These medium-sized questions help us gather information and ideas that help us answer the big essential question. So we will think about the same focusing question for several days as we read and reread one text. And the medium-sized question or the focusing question is like a seedling for the tree. Remember, the essential question was like the big live oak tree. The focusing question is like the seedling of the big oak tree. So, what do you notice about Miss Nelson is Missing? This is our content framing question. The content framing question is the small question. And the smallest question usually only takes a day to answer. We have one more question to think about, and it's the content framing question. These are small, like an acorn or a tree seed. These questions guide us through the text each day. And today we're going to explore a few ways to notice important things about a new text. So we have 3 different types of questions right now. We have the essential question, which may take more than a month to answer. We have the focusing question, which takes about a week to answer. And the content framing question, which takes about a day to answer. And then we will also have our craft question, which will be our writing question. So today's content framing question, our small question, is what do you notice and wonder about Miss Nelson is missing. So we're going to read the book, Miss Nelson is Missing. Okay. I'm going to turn the lights back on. Actually, no, I'm not. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go find it on Epic so you can look.
Miss Nelson is Missing by Harry Allard and James Marshall. The kids in room 207 were misbehaving again. Spitballs stuck to the ceiling. Paper planes whizzed through the air. They were the worst behaved class in the whole school. Now settle down, said Miss Nelson in a sweet voice. But the class would not settle down. They whispered and giggled. They squirmed and made faces. They were even rude during story hour. And they always refused to do their lessons. Something will have to be done, said Miss Nelson. The next morning, Miss Nelson did not come to school. Wow! Yelled the kids. Now we can really act up. They began to make more spitballs and paper planes. Today, let's be just terrible, they said. Not so fast, hissed an unpleasant voice. A woman in an ugly black dress stood before them. I am your new teacher, Miss Viola Swan, and she rapped the desk with her ruler. Where is Miss Nelson? Asked the kids. Never mind that, snapped Miss Swan. Open those arithmetic books. Miss Nelson's kids did as they were told. They could see that Miss Swan was a real witch. She meant business. Right away, she put them to work. And she loaded them down with homework. We'll have no story hour today, said Miss Swan. Keep your mouths shut, said Miss Swan. Sit perfectly still, said Miss Swan. And if you misbehave, you'll be sorry, said Miss Swamp. The kids in room 207 had never worked so hard. Days went by and there was no sign of Miss Nelson. The kids missed Miss Nelson. Maybe we should try to find her, they said. Some of them went to the police. Detective McSmog was assigned to the case. He listened to their story. He scratched his chin. He said. I think Miss Nelson is missing. Detective McSmog would not be much help. Other kids went to Miss Nelson's house. The shades were tightly drawn, and no one answered the door. In fact, the only person they did see was the wicked Miss Viola Swamp coming up the street. If she sees us, she'll give us more homework. They got away just in time. Maybe something terrible happened to Miss Nelson. Maybe she was gobbled up by a shark, said one of the kids. But that didn't seem likely. Maybe Miss Nelson went to Mars, said another kid. But that didn't seem likely either. I know, exclaimed one know-it-all. Maybe Miss Nelson's car was carried off by a swarm of angry butterflies. But that was the least likely of all. The kids in room 207 became very discouraged. It seemed that Miss Nelson was never coming back, and they would be stuck with Miss Viola Swamp forever. They heard footsteps in the hall. Here comes the witch, they whispered. Hello, children, someone said in a sweet voice. It was Miss Nelson. Did you miss me? She asked. We certainly did, cried all the kids. Where were you? That's my little secret, said Miss Nelson. How about a story hour? Oh, yes, cried the kids. Miss Nelson noticed that during story hour, no one was rude or silly. What brought about this lovely change? She asked. That's our little secret, said the kids. Back home, Miss Nelson took off her coat and hung it in the closet, right next to an ugly black dress. When it was time for bed, she sang a little song. I'll never tell, she said to herself with a smile. P.S. Detective McSmog is working on a new case. He is now looking for Miss Viola Swamp.
Okay, so that was the story. Miss Nelson is missing. So what I want you to do, we normally do a routine called a think, pair, share. Okay, so what you do is we think for about a minute to ourselves. We come up with things that we think, and then you are going to tell it to your partner, which you should have a parent or someone sitting near you. And if not, maybe start bringing something like a teddy bear that you can talk to. And then you're going to tell your partner what you think, and then we will share them. And it's going to be a little different because we're not live. So You may have noticed last night that I already posted a notice and a wonder chart on your Google Classroom page. And what you're going to do is you're going to fill in something that you noticed, which is the question is, what did you notice that happened in the story? And then you're going to tell me one thing that you wondered while you were listening to the story. Okay. So you're going to tell me something that you noticed, and it could be anything about the illustrations, it could be about the story itself, it could be about maybe it reminds you of another book that you've read. Any of those are fine. Just tell me something that you noticed. Okay. And then you're going to tell me something that you wondered. Like yesterday, someone asked, I wonder why the shark had legs. Okay. In one of the pictures, the shark, it looked like he had legs, but I don't know that those were the shark's real legs. So that was a good wonder. We had to go back and look at that illustration. All right. So we're going to skip this part. All right. So remember, here are some of our routines. We need to listen. We went over think, pair, share, and we noticed and we wondered. Okay. All right. And so you also have a activity to do today on top of the notice and the wonder chart. I'm going to pull it up so you can see it. So here is your virtual page, okay, under classwork. So here's the story. I sent you a copy of the story for you to read. It's on it's a PDF, so you can open it. Here's your homework. Let's see, some people have already turned it in. Okay, so you are going to do the notice and the wonder chart. Okay, this is what it looks like. All you have to do is click in the box, and this blue box will appear, and you just can type in there. So you're going to tell me one thing that you noticed and one thing that you wondered. Okay, and then you have this also that you need to do. You need to answer this question. What happened to the students when Miss Nelson went missing? Okay, and you do have a copy of the book. If you need to go back and reread it, that's fine. And again, the same thing. If you click on it, you can already go ahead and start typing. We might need to get an adult to help you to make sure that you get your words correct as much as possible. Okay. And then when you are finished with that, you will hit the turn in button, and then I'll be able to look at it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of your notices and your wonders, and I'm going to put them in one big chart for all of us to have together. Okay. Also, while I have you here, I want to show you this post that I made this morning. Everyone has an Epic Book account now. Okay, so once you log on to your Clever page, okay, this is your Epic Books. Okay, this little box right here, it's blue and it says Epic. Once you click on it, it should take you to your account since you were already logged in on the Chromebook. Okay, so between 8:30 and 9 o'clock during intervention time, especially when we don't have intervention classes just yet, you need to be reading. During reading group time in the afternoon from 1 to 2 until we get reading group started, you need to be reading. Okay. All right. I think that was all that I had for you this morning. And I will record our lesson this afternoon with the hybrid kids so you can hear lesson 2. All right, and so the 2 assignments that I just showed you on the board, the notice and the wonder chart, and the question, they are both due Wednesday night. Okay, so you have 2 days to get that done, but you'll have new assignments today after today's lesson. Okay, all right, so I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.